Hi, this is Heidi from Garden Crossings, and I am out in the butterfly house today. It's been a couple weeks since I've taken you through here, and a lot has changed in those couple weeks. So a lot of new things are in flower. Right now I'm happy to announce that we have 18 of the monarch butterflies kind of fluttering all around, and there's a lot of caterpillars that we're also seeing in here. So we're really starting to see things kind of waking up a little bit in this butterfly house, and we're really excited to just see how it progresses throughout the summer. Hopefully these 18 butterflies will be laying plenty of eggs, so that way it'll just kind of keep the cycle going. So like I said, we're excited to see what this little area brings for the summer as far as our butterfly population. But if nothing else, it's a great garden to kind of show people if they want to create their own butterfly oasis out in their gardens and landscape. So let's turn this around and take a look to see what's blooming. So one of the funnest things to see here out in the butterfly house are the butterflies. So hanging out along the wall here, we've got quite a few of them in this corner. There's 3 monarchs along the shade cloth there, and then as we move along you can see there's a few more hanging out. And I'm not sure why they like to hang out on the edges, but we typically find them there if we're not find them kind of buzzing about on the different plants. So in this garden, a lot of the plants, actually all the plants, were planted with the sole intention of being either a host plant or a nectar plant for the butterflies. Right now we just have monarch butterflies. We wanted to start simple, and we have, I think there's about 18 of them in here right now. So we're hoping that these guys here, gales, lay lots of eggs so that we can kind of continue the cycle here in the garden. So when you're doing the monarch caterpillar butterflies, it's really important that you have the host plants, which is Asclepius. So we have about 8 different varieties of Asclepius in this garden. And let me just start off by showing you here. This is a tropical milkweed, or Asclepius. And you can see there's a bug. It's not a bug, it's a caterpillar. A lot of people will call and say there's bugs on my milkweed. Well, you know what? Those aren't bugs, they're caterpillars. And kind of the point of planting milkweed in the garden is for it to be a host plant for the monarch butterflies. So if you start noticing these little striped caterpillars on your plant, don't freak out and start picking them off or trying to spray them with something, because those are your monarch butterflies once these guys turn to a chrysalis and then hatch. So we'll start off and talk about some of the plants in addition to the milkweed. The first one we have here is the Verbena Meteor showers, a really pretty wispy purple plant. A lot of times these are great in the garden, and I like the wispiness of them because the butterflies are really attracted to those little ball-shaped flowers. Another great plant in a butterfly garden would be zinnias. Here we have a mixture of of orange and yellow. So zinnias is a great plant to put into a butterfly garden, as well as butterfly bush. So butterfly bush is really just a nectar source, and we have 3 of them here. There's Miss Molly, Miss Violet, and it's a white one. I'll have to put the name up. But 3 of our proven winner butterfly bushes. Those get a little bit taller, about 4 foot tall, kind of a little bit more like your typical butterfly bush look. And I have a lot more butterfly bushes I'll be showing you, but these are the Miss series. We also have some beautiful coneflowers. This is coral craze, and that's a great pollinator plant as well. When we planted this garden, we wanted to try to make sure we'd have color in all seasons. So thinking about early color, which if you watch the earlier video, you'll notice there's plants in color that aren't now. But we also have to think about late season color too, because we want those flowers flowering to give pollen to nectar to the butterflies later on in the season. Here we have the salvia unplugged, so blue, looking really nice. Another milkweed. This one I'm not seeing any caterpillars just jumping out at me right now, but really a nice looking specimen. In the background there we have one of our aquapots planted up. So we wanted to add the aquapots in just because of we wanted the pot color. We think that it kind of gives like just a nice little splash of color out here in the garden. In this particular aquapot there is the Lantana, and this is the Royale Cosmo. We also have a couple caladiums, just for some interesting color. And then the thriller in this combination is the fireworks grass. We've got Daisy May Leucanthemum. It's looking really nice. In the back there, that's a tall phlox. It's Luminary Ultraviolet, one of the proven winter varieties, a really beautiful, intense, kind of purpley pink color. In the back, we have Dillon Fennel in here as well. We were hoping to maybe introduce some of the black swallowtails. That didn't work so good for us, but we do have some in here in case if we do happen to start finding some of the black swallowtails, we'll have the host plants needed for them. There's a little Asclepius tucked in here. At first we thought these monarchs caterpillars were hanging out on the dill, but then we noticed that this Asclepius was kind of all tucked in and tangled in. Here's a couple really big caterpillars back here. Actually, there's 3 of them there. And those guys, they got to be getting about to the end of their cycle because they are huge. Here's a couple, well, here's a bunch more too. So this is really kind of a hiding spot for the caterpillars. When we go looking, we haven't looked in this spot before, and today we were out looking and we found a ton of them. So that was kind of neat to see. Some more of the meteor showers, Verbena. Some yarrow. This is the sunshine yarrow. Rock and fuchsia salvia. Lining the pathway here is the Senorita Rosalita Cleome. This we had to trim a little bit so we could get through our walkway. So what we've done is we've created little notches off the main path so that we have like little, let's say secret gardens, but not really, but just little off the beaten path pathways so that you can get in and see the plants even closer up. Lining the pathway here, we have some of the pentas, which are great butterfly plants, along with allium. I think this is Millennium or Serendipity, and those plants are looking really nice. It's also nice to have puddling stations in a butterfly garden, even in your home garden, because this gives a place for them to go and get drinks. So we've got this little fountain here, and then we also have this bird bath, which we need to put a little bit more water in. But the stone helps kind of create a place for them to stand, and then they can kind of reach in between the stone to get the water. We put one of our new Calla Lilies in here. This one is Be My First Love. It's doing really nicely. Some more milkweed. Along the back, we did some hollyhock just to give a little bit of height into this garden, and I can see there's a butterfly hanging out over there against the side wall on it. Lantana, some really pretty yellow lantana. Nepeta Cat's Pajamas. Another cluster of coneflowers and tall phlox. Walk out of this little space, went off the beaten path. So also when we're in this butterfly garden, we have little educational tools. So for example, this just kind of shows the full life cycle of a monarch butterfly. So we hope for this space to also be educational as well as kind of a fun place to walk through to see not only the great plants, but the butterflies as well. Lining the path here, we have the Lavalaria. I believe this one here is Blushing Princess. It looks pretty white right now because in the heat, Blushing Princess tends to go more white. But if this was a little cooler, it would have more of that light purple tinge to it. We have the Pugster Pugster Blue Butterfly Bush. This one's only about 2 foot tall and about 3 foot wide. And just look at all those blooms, and they're really dark, intense blooms as well. This is a trio planting, so we have Pugster Amethyst there in the back, the lighter purple, and then not quite blooming yet is the Pugster Pinker. We have the Supertunia, I think this is Rockin' Rush, Petunias with some sedum, which will be our later season flowering pollinators. In this little area here, we have quite a lot of Escalapias also. So there's a lot of choices for these monarchs as far as where they want to land to lay their eggs. We've got white sun patiens, some more coneflower, some more of the salvia, unplugged so blue. And along this path, there's lantana, monarda, more verbena. Go in and take a little closer look here since we're fairly close to the butterflies. So this one here, this is a girl. And this one here, if it will stop long enough, is a boy. The boy has the circles kind of down there at the bottom of those two inner wings, and that's how you know the difference between a boy and a girl on the monarch butterflies. There's some more coneflowers lining the path, along with monarda. Some more phlox, sun patiens, verbena, zinnias, another great butterfly bush. Here we have a cluster of the yellow milkweed. It's a lot of different milkweed. Let's take a look here at, actually let me move out of the way so we can see this little grouping here. So we have this pathway lined with a lot of the Supertunias. There is Supertunia really red, Lantana pink, Supertunia Vista hot pink, Pugster dark blue butterfly bush, Salvia rockin' fuchsia, Lemoncello Supertunias, Caryopteris. This is, I think, sunshine blue, that yellow. So that will be more of a fall color. More of the dill. This here is a Mexican petunia. So there's certain butterflies that like this plant. Unfortunately, we don't have them in yet, but we did plant it in hopes of, if we get those butterflies, that they'll have a host plant as well. Some more of the mini Vista hot pink. We have a spirea tucked in there. That's that chartreuse that you're seeing. And again, a lot of repetition in a lot of the plants that we did, just to kind of carry the colors through in the garden. And in the middle there, we've got a Supertunia. I think that's the Rockin' Rush, along with meteor showers and lantana. This side of the garden, in this corner here, we have some Gomphrena, the Truffula pink, which that's another great plant that the butterflies love. Here's a huge collection of milkweed. On the trellis there, we have the honeysuckle, Simply Sensational, some more zinnias down there in the corner. We have a lilac bush next to that sign, and that's a host plant for the tiger swallowtails. More coneflowers and butterfly bush. More milkweed plants. Looks like the yellow is really flowering right now. So it's Hello Yellow. It's a tropical milkweed. Into this little area here, we notched this out with the Gomphrena Truffula pink. And as we enter into it, we've got the Verbena meteor showers, which looks really great. Got a couple, 3 butterflies here right in front of me. You can see him trying to fly around. Another one there. And then off to the edge there's another one. We have some Stokesia planted, some aster. Oh, this is a brand new Super Bells for 2022. That's a real beautiful one. Some Veronica and Lantana, along with some more yarrow. In this aqua pot right here, we planted the cannas along with Kufia vermillionaire, Coleus Wicked Witch, some Lantana, and then the Lasmachia Creeping Jenny to kind of hang over the edges. It's a really kind of a pretty look there in that pot. In this area, we just planted a bunch of annuals, some more of the Lantana, the Sun Patiens, some more Veronica. Here we have Solidago. It's a great plant for the butterflies. Some more milkweed, hollyhock, coneflowers, and some petunias. Agastache, that was really nice in the earlier video this spring. This is blue boa. We also have agastache, I think it's tangerine. It's an orange one. And that was really pretty earlier on when that was more in its prime season. More of the Veronica and the Blushing Princess Lavalaria. Here's more butterfly bush. One thing you can tell is we really love the Pugster butterfly bush. Very compact in size. Pugster blue is a top seller with that deep dark blue. And then we've got Pugster pinker and Pugster periwinkle. Large flowers, a lot of blooms for not such a very huge plant. So that's the thing that we think is most impressive about this, is just a lot of color, and it doesn't take up a lot of real estate in the garden. Butterflies over there are kind of checking out the hollyhocks. This path here, we have it lined with more petunias, some nepeta, more of the sun patience. We got the beautiful tall phlox here blooming really nice. White zinnias. Liatris. Liatris is also a great plant. That's kind of one of those must-have plants in a butterfly garden. We got some sedum. More coneflowers. More zinnias. And then tucked along in this back corner, we've got the Verbena, the Nepeta cat's pajamas, some tall phlox, Lantana. And then as we look into this area of the garden, there's a lot of the rockin' fuchsia, salvia, beautiful Verbena. The large orange that you're seeing, that's tropical milkweed. That's a milkweed that I overwintered from last summer because I knew I was going to need some mature plants in here, not knowing how quick the ones that we had seeded were going to grow. So these are our nice mature milkweed and just beautiful flowers. What you're seeing here in this picture, that's one plant. It's about 5 foot wide and 3 foot tall. So really a very impressive show of color in the garden. Over here's another one. This is one plant here. This one's not quite as wide, probably about 3 foot wide and 3 foot tall, but just really, really nice. And the thing is a lot of these plants, I love that airy look. There's not, besides the petunias, a lot of these taller ones, they're all very just airy and flowy and not a lot of dense color, although there's a lot of flowers which give a lot of color. So definitely when you are looking to create your own butterfly garden, you want to keep in mind host plants that the butterflies that you're trying to attract are going to like. You want to make for sure that you have plenty of nectar sources with the flowers that you're planting. And also those nectar sources, you want to make for sure that they're going to be in flower throughout the summer. So when planting, be sure to just plan your flower times of all the different things that you're putting into your garden. So I think we're going to go ahead and end this tour today with looking at this beautiful butterfly. And hopefully this gives you a little inspiration on how you too can create a butterfly oasis in your own garden. Definitely, if you have questions, leave comments below and we'll help you with whatever questions you may have. We'd love to get you started on creating a monarch oasis in your garden. This is Heidi from Garden Crossings.